It's coming together, but the legroom for the rear seat looks like a punishment for anyone over 5 feet tall. For stage 58, I'll start assembling the engine bay. First, fit the brake servo to the brake servo mount and secure it with one PS5 screw. Now fit the J connector to the assembly and then fit the hose to the assembly. Next, fit the T connector to the hose and fit the assembly to the engine bay wall, securing with two PS11 screws. For stage 59, I'll continue the engine bay. First, fit both brake fluid reservoirs to the firewall, securing from the other side with two PS5 screws. Next, fit a brake reservoir cap onto each brake reservoir. Now fit the heat blower housing to the assembly, securing it with one PS5 screw. Fit the firewall to the engine bay assembly, securing it with two PS11 screws. For stage 60, I'll finish the engine bay. First, fit the brake servo to the brake servo mount and secure it with one PS5 screw. Fit the assembly to the engine bay wall, securing it with two PS11 screws. Now fit the assembly onto the firewall, securing it with another two PS11 screws. For stage 61, I'll fit the speaker and the radiator header tank. First, fit the speaker onto the engine bay assembly and fit the speaker holder to the assembly and secure with two PS5 screws. Fit the long hose to the T connector and thread the long hose through the engine bay. Fit the short hose to the assembly and thread the short hose through the assembly as well. Now fit the cap into the top of the header tank and secure with one PS5 screw. And fit the assembly to the engine bay, securing it with two PS5 screws. For stage 62, I'll fit the windscreen washer reservoir, the ignition coil and the air vent trunk. First, fit the cap onto the lid and then fit the lid onto the windscreen washer reservoir, securing it with one PS14 screw, and fit the assembly to the holder. Now fit the holder to the engine bay assembly and secure from underneath with one PS14 screw. Next, fit the L connector into the lead and fit the lead to the ignition coil. Fit the ignition coil to the engine bay and secure it with two PS14 screws. Now fit the air vent trunk to the assembly. For stage 63, I'll fit the air filter, the engine and the cockpit. First, fit the grille to the air filter bottom and wrap the grille around the air filter. Next, fit the air filter top to the assembly and secure it with two PS14 screws. Now fit the mount to the assembly and secure it with another two PS14 screws. Fit the tube to the assembly and fit the assembly to the engine bay, securing it with two more PS14 screws. Next, fit the pipe. Now fit the engine bay onto the assembly and secure with 6 DS2 screws. Fit the engine to the assembly, connecting the drive shaft to the gearbox and secure from underneath with 2 PS5 and 1 DS2 screws. Fit the L connector to the distributor and connect the long hose to the pipe and connect the short hose to the cooling water thermostat. Connect the fuel hose to the T connector. Retrieve the cockpit assembly and thread cables 4, 6 and 7 through the chassis. Position cable number 1 in the recess on the left side and position cable number 2 and 8 in the recess on the right side. Fit the rear seat to the assembly and secure from underneath with another 4 PS5 screws. Secure the dial housing with 2 more PS5 screws. Secure the steering shaft with 1 DS20 screw. Now connect the 2 cables labelled 8. Thread cable number 4, 6 and 7 under the rear axle and secure cable 4, 6 and 7 with cable fasteners. For stage 64, I'll fit the battery compartment. Fit the battery compartment to the chassis and secure with 2 PS5 screws. Connect the cables labelled 4 and fit the battery compartment cover onto the battery compartment. For stage 65, I'll assemble a bulletproof screen. First, fit 2 clamps to the rear housing. Fit the springs to the screen and fit the assembly into the rear housing. Now fit the front housing onto the assembly and secure with 4 PS5 screws, and a quick test to make sure it works. For stage 66, I'll fit the exhaust pipes. First, fit the top of the exhaust pipes to the bottom of the exhaust pipes and secure them together with 4 PS2 screws. Now fit the 2 tailpipes to the assembly and fit the assembly to the chassis and secure with 1 PS2 screw. And that wraps up Pack 8, stages 58 to 66 of the Agora Models Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger. It's really starting to take shape now, and there's plenty more detail ahead. If you're enjoying this build, please make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next pack. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, where we will take this iconic Bond car even further.